Ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We got another Hoop Talk podcast, episode 19. So share, comment, all that good stuff. Y'all know the drill. Let's get right to it. News, last Carmelo Anthony making the Hall of Fame. This week, the entire class has been announced. So we're going to go ahead and see how we feel. Think. I thought no choice Hall of Fame this year. One by one, we talked, of course, Carmelo. We talk about the 20 per game NBA, 10-time All NBA, 13 NBA champion, 2 NCAA tournament champion, NBA 75, Olympic gold medalist, Olympic legends. Carmelo Anthony last week. Don't need to. Referee Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. Referee that Crawford, 32-year career, officiated 2,000 regular season, 300 playoff, 30 NBA games, and 23 consecutive NBA Finals. Shout out to Danny Crawford, GOATs.
I have a question real quick about Danny Crawford. Wasn't there like a conspiracy with him, and the other dude who ended up getting a ban from the NBA? Weren't there like a bunch of phone calls around the time that he was like placing bets?
I don't quite. No, I don't quite. I imagine he probably wasn't that involved. Honored him in the. They usually don't give fame to people who have these type of tainted. You know what I mean?
True.
So I don't remember the whole story. I'm not entirely sure how he was involved or if he's the right one. But I would imagine he probably is or wasn't as involved as we think he was. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then we have Billy Donovan. He's still coaching in the NBA, right?
He won
He's
2 national championships with the Gators. Yeah.
He's still coaching in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
He's coaching right now.
I think he's the Bulls coach though, right? Or did he?
Yeah.
He's a Bulls coach.
Yeah. God damn. Showing my basketball knowledge there. Billy Donovan, yes, was inducted because of his college career. 2-time NCAA champion, back in Florida with the Al Horford, Joe days. Corey Brewer, right? Corey Brewer.
You're right.
Yeah.
2 NCAA, 399 NBA wins, 2020 NBCA Coach of the Year. Shout out to Donovan, lifting the Chicago Bulls playing spot. So still coaching, still doing thing, being able to manage programs successfully because it takes to make the Bulls even good enough. You know what I mean? The 2008 U.S. Olympic men's basketball team, a.k.a. the Redeem Team, ladies and gentlemen, was nominated as a unit. Not all individual members are nominated for the Hall of Fame, but the basketball program that was built that year itself was inducted into the Hall of Fame. If that makes sense, it doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense to the people who make the votes. So that's what happened. Gold medal team in Beijing back in 2008, 8-0 record through the tournament, 27.9 average margin of victory. We did do an episode ranking all the Olympic teams, Team USA's, and I believe the Redeem Team was either number 1 or number 2 for us, pretty commonly. So rightfully so to the 2008 Redeem Team. A member of the 2008. Crazy? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. So, with the Redeem Team going in, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh are now in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Fire.
It is kind of interesting and weird at the same time that you can make the Hall of Fame for separate instances. It is odd.
It's like its own entity, right? It's like its own entity at that point.
It's cool though.
That team was important.
Yeah.
That team was very important. That was the team that evened out. I remember everybody thought that United States was closer than it was further away, and Kobe came back, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and they show the gap is really further than really it is closer. I do remember that. That was a important team.
They did it for the culture, man. That was a big deal. Team USA was going through some struggles. They had to do something to get themselves back on top, and they put together the best basketball players they could possibly imagine, and completely demolished everybody by a 28-point differential on average. So I'll never forget Kobe Bryant trying to murder his championship teammate. That was something
Running
else.
into him the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and warning everybody that he was going to do it, and then proceeding to do it. That is the definition of standing on business. It's like,
Psychopath.
I'm gonna run
The
through
real
his chest.
crash out.
Right, I'm gonna run through his chest. Everybody's like, "Oh man, shut up!" And then 2 minutes later, boom, Paul Gasol's in the ground. But a member of the Redeem Team, Carmelo Anthony, also inducted into the Hall of Fame, and a second member of the Redeem Team, Dwight Howard, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite player of all time, also made it into a Hall of Fame. We have another topic about him here shortly as well, but 15.7 points per game in an NBA career, 11.8 rebounds in 18 seasons with the Orlando Magic, Lakers, Rockets, Hawks, Hornets, Wizards. He was a little bit of a rainbow player, unfortunately, but he had a lot of successful tenures.
Rebounds as well.
He's more than just a rainbow player at that. But
yeah, he played everywhere, but he had successful tenures everywhere he went. 8-time NBA All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, back to back to back. One of the few players that managed to do that. And of course, he was a member of that 2020 NBA Lakers bubble championship as well. So shout out to Dwight Howard for making it to the Hall of Fame. We have another topic about him here shortly as well, which will kind of tie into that.
Real quick, before we move on, Dwight Howard falls in line with all the great big men in the NBA. You go to LA, you win a championship. He just falls in line with the rest of the big men, whoever.
You come from the Magic specifically, too.
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah. Pretty
Shout out
dope.
to my dog, Dwight Howard. On the women's committee, we have Sue Bird, a WNBA legend, 11.7 points per game and 5.6 assists per game in 20 seasons with the Seattle Storm. A lifer in Seattle. 13-time All-Star, first in WNBA games played, 580, assists, 3,234, and minutes played with 18,000 minutes. 8-time All-WNBA, 2002 Naismith College Player of the Year, 4-time WNBA champion, and 2-time NCAA champion. It doesn't get more decorated than that, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what's crazy, though?
Is a GOAT.
About her championships? Her first one, 2004. Do you know when her last one was?
Was it recent?
2020,
bro. It's so spread out.
Recent.
16 years between her first to her last.
That's the Tim Duncan of the WNBA right there.
No cap.
Yeah.
No cap.
And we have Sylvia Fowles, or Foles. Am I pronouncing that right? Somebody correct me.
I'm not sure.
Or, I actually don't know.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm aware of the player. I just never actually took the time to pronounce the name right, apparently. But somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure. Yeah. They're going to hate on me. 15.7 points per game, 9.8 rebounds per game in 15 seasons with the Chicago Sky and the Minnesota Lynx. 2017 WNBA MVP, 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-WNBA. It says All-NBA on here. That was a typo, obviously. 8-time All-WNBA, 4-time WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, and 2-time WNBA champion. Then we got Maya Moore, the legend, 18 points per game, 6 rebounds per game. Over 8 seasons with the Minnesota Lynx.
They won championships together.
Retired too early, unfortunately, in my opinion, but she had to do what she had to do. 2014 WNBA MVP, 6-time All-Star, 7-time All-WNBA, 4-time WNBA champion, 2-time NCAA champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Another GOAT in the game of basketball. Phenomenal class so far. We're not even done.
She's also the greatest UConn Husky ever, I would say, in my eyes, for men and women, in my eyes.
Yeah, Paige might be up there now.
She's a basketball GOAT in general. I think she's one of the most decorated players I've ever seen. And
sure.
One of the best WNBA players in history. Probably Mount Rushmore-esque type of career.
Top 3 for sure.
Then we have contributors committee. Only member selected was Mickey Arison, a team owner of the Miami Heat since 1995. 3-time NBA champion since becoming the owner, and 7 NBA Finals appearances since becoming an owner. Shout out to Mickey Harrison for doing all the work in the back end to make that Miami Heat franchise function the way that it does, making all these hiring, making all these decisions to get people like Pat Riley, like Eric Spoelstra, like LeBron, involved one way or another. He definitely deserves credit for what Miami has been throughout these years.
And he's also like a player's owner. Like there's not a lot of owners you get to see on TV, but he's always like at the games. He's always showing love to the players. He's kind of Mark Cuban-esque in a way. I don't think he has his hands as much as Mark did, but he definitely has a say so. And kind of like, I know you said 3 championships, but there's franchises out there who haven't won one in the last 20 years. There's more than multiple champions. Like what he's done with the Heat is, with the amount of years he's been there, it's actually kind of remarkable that he was able to reach it 3 times in 20 years. That's you got to give him a lot of props. And he's a Florida guy. He's a Florida guy. I got to give it to the Florida guy every time.
Everybody always says Boston is like the epitome of a great franchise. In the last 30 years, the Celtics and the Heat have won the same amount of championships.
Yeah, people don't put enough respect on Miami. Miami's did it so many different ways too, and it's not even the fact that they just won championships. They've been in a ton of finals too. Like they've been in a lot of finals. Like potentially Jimmy Butler, they went I think twice with Jimmy, or they almost went twice with Jimmy.
They've been to the finals twice in the last 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
And then you're not adding the LeBron Heat, going 4 times in a row. Like
it's another 3 years right there. 4 years, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like that you guys like it gives me goosebumps how good of a coach he is. I mean, how good of an owner he is, man. And when LeBron left, when he loses a superstar, he never like shits on them. He always shows them love, and he shows them compassion and understands that this is a business, and I know you're doing what's best for your family, and thank you for everything you've done. He was very, very, very like, professional when LeBron left to Cleveland. The way, because they just came off a championship, most people would be upset, angry, hurt, but he just let him go and let him do his thing, and then re-signed Bosh and things like that. So he's awesome. Also, I mean, not to even kind of harp on it, what he did with Chris Bosh, like towards the later end of his career when he couldn't play anymore, he still signed him to a really big contract. He got him still paid and things like that, finished out his contract with the Heat, got paid fully. Like, just a good guy, just a really good dude overall.
Shout out to Mickey Harrison, man. He's doing great things in Miami. And Miami is definitely a phenomenal franchise to learn from and how they do things. Very military-esque, but it gets the job done. They know what they want, they know what they need, and if you can't provide that, then you're not for me. That's all it works. That's how it works over there.
Yeah. Last thing, I'm gonna leave it alone. I promise, Nas.
I didn't know we had a Mickey Harrison fan in the podcast. I didn't know. I'm finding out today.
I'm sorry.
The super fan is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead.
Also, I gotta throw it out there, bro. Having Udonis Haslem like all those years to teach your players. You see the Udonis and Bam. You see the Udonis in so many players. No, you guys go. No, I'm saying the toughness.
That's financial fraud right there.
I know, but like the toughness that he brought to that team, and then the contract he gave Udonis towards the end of his career as well, is another like thank you contract for what you did for my organization. Just a really good dude, and I always heard great things about him. That's why I'm kind of going in on it. But yeah, I'm done now. It's over.
Well, shout out to him, man. Let's move on to the next thing. Speaking of great programs, 4 or 8 total programs competed in their respective Final Four since the last time we did our podcast. My preferred program, unfortunately, could not get the job done. But let's start with the women's side. UConn, Miss Paige Beckers, the future of the WNBA, leads her team to her last and final hoorah, leaving with the championship, going into the WNBA as a NCAA champion. Did you guys watch the game? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Give your perspective on Paige Beckers.
Paige was great in that game, but honestly, that game was Azzy fun. Azzy went crazy that entire game.
She did.
Defensively, offensively. There was no moment of that game where it felt like it was close either. It was just
not at all.
Which is crazy because South Carolina, being the program that they are, it is unfortunate that they go down like that. But it happens. You know what I mean? They've been to the championship, or at least the Final Four, over the last 4 years, right?
Yeah.
They've won 2 in the last 4 years.
Yeah. So it's an accomplishment, man. But, UConn basketball is the epitome of greatness, men's and women's. I don't know what's going on in the back end of that team. I don't know what kind of deals with the devil they got going on. But UConn is, when it comes to winning, UConn knows how to do that. That is something. And not just
they
women's,
arguably
also men's.
Oh, go ahead. My bad, Nas.
That was it. Go ahead.
Oh, no, they arguably got 2 of the, best coaches a college program could ever ask for. within for the girls side of things and the guys side of things. So it's like you really it's hard to
Especially
beat
Gino.
that team in
Yeah,
year in.
Gino's crazy.
Yeah, and year in and year out. Like even UConn, I think the men's made it to like the 16. I'm pretty sure or close to it. Like they're every year those programs are always in a fight to the end. So it's just like you really can't top that. And just to shout out Paige, I think that last, that storybook ending that a lot of players don't get, I'm happy that she was able to get, hugging her coach, checking out, hearing the fans, thanking her. Like, I think we don't harp on that side of basketball because she came back from an injury last year, came back and won the whole thing and said she was going to do it. So, shout out to Paige for sure. Very, very decorated player as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a storybook ending for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a storybook ending for sure. It was a very emotional moment. I'm not some huge UConn fan myself, but it was good to just feel that energy and to see that that emotion that they had, having the last time she's checking out. That was great to see, and I know she's probably still got goosebumps and still going through the motions, man. But shout out to Paige, shout out to Ozzy, shout out to Coach Gino, and shout out to the whole UConn program. They brought it home. Defeating a very tough, very difficult to beat South Carolina program. So shout out to them. On the men's side, there were some upsets, unfortunately. People lost a lot of money. Duke did not get the job done. We folded literally in the last 30 seconds of a basketball game. Never thought I'd see that happen, but that's
9 points, right?
That's,
9 points, right? Up 9 with 30 seconds left.
6-point lead we had with 30 seconds left in the game. We folded, just did not get the job done. But that's college basketball for you, youngins that don't know what they're doing.
Could you imagine what it would be like having a center that's 7'2", expected to go top 10 in the draft, not get a single rebound? Could you imagine what that's like?
I can't imagine.
Could you describe that for me?
I lived through it. I lived through it from the moment the game started to the moment the game ended. It was the most depressing thing that's ever happened to me. The man is 7'2", ladies and gentlemen. The man is 7'2", projected lottery pick in the NBA.
Accidental rebound.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
And he goes out with no rebounds. Not one. Like Tyler said, not even an accidental rebound. I promise you, I don't have the numbers pulled up, but let's say, for example, the Duke Blue Devils got 35 rebounds that game. I promise you, 10 of them landed in people's hands. At least 10 of them. And it never landed in his. His hands just were never the ones they landed on. I'm like, how?
Was he guarding a shooter?
He's 7'2". There's no excuse.
He's the only person that played. Actually, I'll lower this number down. He's the only person that played 15 minutes or more. Before I was going to say 20, but 15 minutes or more without a single rebound. The only one.
It's not normal.
And he played 21 minutes a game.
Yeah, I mean that's college basketball for you. Like I said, it's these young kids. They don't know what they're doing. They can't work under pressure when it really matters. And like I said it in the podcast, Houston is a real team. Houston is a team that's actually going to give us a challenge. It's not like these other teams that we've been playing. This is a number 1 ranked team in their conference. Obviously, we got to go in and we got to show up, and that means showing up for all 40 minutes. And we showed up for 39 minutes and 30 seconds. And then when it mattered the most, we disappeared. And I mean, Cooper Flagg did miss the shot, but you can't blame the game on a missed shot. That happens. You know what I mean? Like he shouldn't have had to take that shot to secure the win. That's not how a game of basketball is supposed to work. That's not how you depend on a player that's 19 freaking years old, 18 years old, turning 19. You know what I mean? Like. But neither here nor there. Houston, I did say it. They're a good team. They're gonna give us a challenge, and we didn't show up. Plain and simple. Florida,
I know
their matchup on the other end. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say I know the Houston coach is kicking right now because he wish he would have had a shot at least.
Man,
that's for sure.
That's something else, man. But what do you call it? Florida won theirs. On their end, and it was Florida versus Houston, and Florida won that game. Walter Clayton Jr. had another phenomenal performance, stayed red hot throughout the entire tournament, was a flamethrower. Houston was in the lead for a decent amount of that game. Florida did catch fire once again. and blew them out of the water. I don't remember the final score, but I think it was a closer game than it seemed.
65-63.
Yeah, it was close, but when you watch the game, you kind of just feel the momentum going Florida's way every second that passes. You kind of just feel the energy shifting to Florida's side. Every single possession, you could feel like they have more. They have more in them to give, and Houston is kind of just losing it every second. It's like, damn, Houston, like, they're not playing good. They're playing worse every possession. It's like, if you don't walk in here the way you locked in versus Duke, motherfuckers, but they did not,
I was so confused, though, watching that. Like, everybody was, like, going crazy for Clayton, but I don't think that he did good this game.
He played.
He really was not impacted the game that people were saying. Clayton? I think people are mixing him up with two other guys that they have. Because they got that Condon dude, and then they have number 5. Number 5 was going crazy, bro. Number 5 was the one hitting shots.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is.
I'm not even going front. I didn't watch the game. I'm just going based off of what I heard. Listen, once they lost, I didn't care anymore.
No, yeah, I'm saying everybody online was going crazy saying Clayton. I think you guys got him mixed up.
He probably hit big. He probably hit big shots at the
about.
end. He probably hit big shots at the end. That's usually how it goes for him. Nobody had.
big shot
Number
maker.
5 dude was untouchable.
Yeah, nobody had a super phenomenal performance. I mean, the highest score was 18 points, so nobody really went out there and had some sort of historical performance. But everybody went.
Was that who I'm thinking of? Is he number 5? With 18?
Yeah, number 5 had 18 points.
Okay.
I had his name up right here. Where'd he go? Will Richard. Yeah, he had a good game, but nobody really went out there and had a historical game. It was really done by a committee. They locked in. Will Richard hit some big shots to get them in the game, keep them in the game. Walter Clayton hit a shot or two to keep them in the game. It was a rough start for everybody, and they kind of picked it up towards the end. Unfortunately, Houston had an opportunity to take a shot to win the game, and they fumbled. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one thing they teach you as a child growing up in basketball is do not go up unless you know what you are going to do with the ball. And that man went up with the ball, left the ground up in the sky, and he did not know what he wanted to do with the ball. Yeah, it got tipped.
Yeah, that's a crazy ending.
Or something happened. He lost it. Unfortunately, due to the rules, he was not able to grab it again, or it would have been a travel. And I saw a video. This is the last thing I'll say on it. I saw a video of of Houston doing dive drills. They do dive drills to keep the guys engaged and to keep them, always remembering that, these loose balls matter. We got to dive for the loose ball. We got to put in that extra effort. They do dive drills in practice every once in a while. Houston, the post basically said we went from doing dive drills in practice to losing to a dive in a championship game, which is crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Florida dove for the basketball. They got possession, and that secured the win.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Florida, man. We are, for those of you who may not know, maybe new to the podcast, we are in Florida ourselves, Orlando, just a few hours away from Gainesville. I'm not a huge Florida Gators fan myself. As you guys have heard a million times, I'm a Duke fan, natural-born UNC hater. So I still love the fact that Florida did get it done now. But it was an exciting game.
Nas,
from the highlights.
What's your football team?
College?
Any NFL?
I don't watch college football. I'm a New York Giants fan.
I never realized until now. Nas is a bandwagon. Nas is a bandwagon. I just realized.
Yeah, I am.
You just realized that.
Giants, Duke.
Yeah, I am.
I just realized.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't leave though. I don't leave though. So my method of choosing a team once I start watching a sport is kind of just based on familiarity and the team that kind of gets me going the most. But once I can build that bond, I stay with it no matter how bad they get. So I've been a Lakers fan throughout all the bad years. I never stopped being a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
I've been a Dodgers fan throughout all the bad years. And now here we are dominating, just won a championship last year, won a championship 4 years ago. We're going to win another championship this year. So, but either way, I'm a Giants fan. Yes, I bandwagoned to the Giants during the Eli Manning and Victor Cruz days. However, I didn't gravitate towards them because they were winning. I will say that. I gravitated towards them because of Victor Cruz. I was in Puerto Rico at the time. I was a kid in Puerto Rico. You got Victor Cruz doing a fucking salsa on the touchdown. You know what I mean?
He was Dominican.
I know he's not Puerto Rican. I'm saying he was doing a salsa dance.
My bad. No,
he's Spanish.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying he's
sorry.
No, I'm saying he's Spanish. He's Spanish, and he was doing the salsa every time he did the touchdown. You know what I mean? So like that's what I gravitated to. He was my favorite player at that time when I started watching football. So I gravitated towards him. But I was more of an Aaron Rodgers fan. My correlation for that was just that he wore number 12, and I was a Dwight Howard fan, and Dwight Howard wore number 12. So then I just ended up watching Aaron Rodgers so much. Now I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But, you know, at the time I had a silly reason for following him. But yeah, I am. I'm not going to lie. I am a bandwagoner in the beginning.
I never realized it until now.
In the beginning, though, only. After that, I stick with it. I don't leave. I never leave.
These are, and everybody you like are franchises who can turn it around like 2 or 3 years, and they're good again. So I respect
maybe not the biggest market, but everybody else, yes. I don't think the Dodgers haven't been bad since I've been watching baseball. So I'm still in that bandwagon phase, I guess you can say. We haven't had bad years since I've been an avid baseball fan myself. Before, I was just a social baseball fan, and I was like a Yankees guy again because I'm from Puerto Rico. But once I started watching baseball on my own,
that's true. No, you're right. Or it's the Mets.
Once I started watching baseball on my own accord, on my own time, I gravitated towards the Dodgers because of Clayton Kershaw. I think Clayton Kershaw is the greatest pitcher of all time, personally. But either way,
that makes sense. Because before Kershaw, that's when they were kind of like middling.
Yeah, I wasn't watching them. I was watching the Yankees back then. But then I grew to hate the Yankees because I'm a Dodgers fan, and it's fuck the Yankees. So that's just how it works out. You know what I mean? You guys were there for it in the chat. Every single game in the World Series last year, fuck the Yankees every single game. And that's exactly what we did. We fucked up the Yankees. But either way.
Man. I've never seen the F-bomb drop 3 times in a row.
Listen, when it's about my team, I am adamant, all right? This is going to be a clip for people. The people
fuck
the
Celtics, fuck the Yankees.
No, facts. Fuck the Celtics, for real. No,
that's our slogan, no. I'm
also,
so yeah, fuck the Yankees.
Fuck the Patriots, too. Yeah, everybody.
I'm a Jets fan, so we can. I feel you. I trust you.
I mean, yeah, fuck the Jets too, but it's okay though.
It's more fuck the Patriots than the Jets.
We'll see. But yeah, either way, let's get back to the basketball side of things. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to UConn for getting it done. Let's bounce back to some NBA. Let's actually leave the NBA playoff picture for last. That seems like a good last topic. Mike Malone, ladies and gentlemen. Third coach in the last,
Post Malone.
month or two that have been fired, nearing a playoff run.
The Nuggets are officially post Malone.
It is it is a shocking turn of events. What do you guys think about that situation?
Bro, it's wild to me because he's the first coach that made them win a championship ever. They never won. You're only 2 weeks away from the playoffs. Why not just see how far you guys go real quick and then fire him if it's not working? I didn't think.
And on top of that,
I think Calvin Booth is a terrorist.
Yeah, they got fired because I think they were going back and forth, and they wouldn't ever figure out what do you want or can you do this? Like I think the GM was trying to get him to play certain players, and he didn't want to play certain players because he would pick other players over the player that he wanted them to play and get PT. I was actually doing a little reading. Yes, I read, guys. And I saw that they were just they haven't really talked like that in the last 2 or 3 years. They little to no conversations, and when your 2 biggest figures with your head coach and your GM are not aligned, that's pretty toxic. That could be toxic, and not toxic in a way that it's toxic like, oh, I hate you, but it's more so in a sense there's no communication, and we all know the number one thing in basketball, no matter what, is communication. That's our number one tool when we play. So when there's go ahead.
But wouldn't it just make more sense to choose who's right and keep him? Like as the ownership group, if there is, I understand the aspect of them butting heads. That's obvious. As a boss, you have to say y'all got to get it together, or one of you's got to go. But why would you fire both? You have to pick a side and decide who you're going to run with. Is Malone correct for the way that he wants to do things? Is the GM correct for the way that he wants to do things?
Because they can't both be wrong.
Right, they can't both be wrong. And if they're both wrong, maybe the owners have to be fired now because you brought them on. What the fuck?
Maybe it's
Yeah.
Jokic's fault. Release him.
But keep going. I'm sorry.
No, I'm pretty much done. I was just gonna say, I mean, it's just gonna be the new era of Denver, but like someone decorated like that, like even what's Ty Lue before he left Cleveland when he won Cleveland that championship, they still gave him opportunities a couple years afterwards to try to figure it out. And then even when they let him go, even when they let him go though, they still did it gracefully. They waited until the end of the season, and actually he left on his own terms because the contract was over, I'm pretty sure. It's just like seeing these decorated coaches who are winning championships just get tossed to the side. Like,
bro, they had 4 games left.
Nothing is.
That shit makes no sense.
It's not even the next season.
Insane. It's not even the playoffs.
The
like, at least be down in the playoffs. Like, yeah, exactly. The summer. But I think the whole thing, the cleaning out is maybe better for Denver than it is for anybody because then nobody's right. This is just a bad situation for the players' mindset. They're both wrong. They're both con. You know what I'm saying? So 2 wrongs don't make a right.
What they need to do is
get you fired.
I think Magic Johnson needs to be fined for this.
Who?
What the fuck?
Magic Johnson.
Wait, why?
Why?
You don't remember he was getting fined for the Jokic comments before when he was on the Lakers? Find him again, just in case.
go back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a statute of limitations on these things, Tyler. What the hell? That's crazy.
Right?
Fine, Magic
But
Johnson.
that comment might have led to this trade or this firing. Find him. Oh my. DeAndre Hunter just hit the craziest fade over Tyrese Halliburton. The craziest quarter fade. You guys are going to see highlights of that. I'm watching the game, sorry.
As you guys can see, Tyler's watching basketball in the background.
Cinema.
Tim the Tap Man, shout out. What was I going to say? Yeah, in my personal opinion, this is what loses you the chance to win a championship this year. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
You can't expect an interim head coach to go into the playoffs and figure that shit out. And at the end of the day, let's not act like this man is about to implement a new playbook. No, he's going to go grab Mike Malone's playbook. And he's going to do what the fuck Mike Malone's been doing for the last 78 games. You know what I mean?
That's what
every Mike Malone
does.
That's the part that doesn't make any sense. He's not going to make a new play style. Yeah, maybe he might alter some things in practice. Maybe he might alter some options and some defensive schemes here and there. But, like, how much do you think these grown-ass men are going to remember in 4 days or in 4 games, bro? Like, you got the playoffs next week.
Also,
if you're going
to have someone else use a Michael Malone system, why not just have Mike Malone do it?
Right.
It was the same thing with Doc when he went to Milwaukee. Like, they did not switch anything until the summer. They played the same offense because obviously he was asking Doc for help and getting all the plays from Doc damn near. But literally, like, they ran the same defense, same offense until the year was over, and then they retooled when the summer came. So it's just like things like that don't change. Like, plays don't change in the middle of the year. They don't. They stay the same, and they ride them out to the end of the year. Unless it's like a big change, like Luka to the Lakers, unless it's something like that. But that's rare. That's very rare.
But if you're going to write it out, why not just write out with the coach? You're going to write out the system, the playbook, the plays, the decisions, the adjustments. Why not write it out with the coach?
Makes no goddamn sense. However, I am going to pick a side, though. And I'm only basing this off of what I see in interviews and what I see in the articles. And I do think, low-key, Mike Malone might just be the problem a little bit when it comes to the turmoil. Because the way that he conducts himself in certain situations is not becoming of a coach, in my opinion. He
not
says
at all.
things
Not at all.
that he shouldn't say.
Lost the locker room.
Yeah, he says things that he shouldn't say. He had that whole fiasco talking about guys not taking it seriously, not watching film, talking about guys who really want to. It's like, you know what you're doing. You're calling your guys out in front of the media, in front of the cameras, in front of the microphone. Like, that's not appropriate of a head coach. You're supposed to be a leader. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be the head of the snake in this situation. Like, you know, you don't see, Jokic barely even likes his job. You don't see him trash talking everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's weird. I think, like Tyler said, I think he was losing the locker room, if not already lost them. But, like, if you're going to make a decision, bro, at the end of the day, one of them got to go. It doesn't make sense for both. Like, unless there's drama that we haven't been told about yet, which is possible, of course. But as of right now...
It's always like that, though.
Yeah, as of right now, it's like if somebody was wrong, you gotta decide who that person was and fire him. You can't tell them both you're
And
wrong.
I would side with the coach for this until the season's over because the coach will impact how you play. The GM, the team is set. There's not really going to be too many changes right now.
Or temporarily side with the coach. You know what I mean? Fire the GM now.
Yeah.
Let the coach finish this off. Do what you got to do, man. Listen, if you win us a championship, we'll keep you. If you don't, you're fired. Simple as that. That's it.
GM's job is so easy. And I'm not saying easy like whatever.
No.
But like if you're a good team, well, hold on. If you're a good team or a bubbling team, your job is done after the deadline. At that point, you're a psychiatrist. You're listening to people's problems. You're trying to talk if there's I would say a coup. If there's a coup within the team, you're trying to figure that out. You're really a psychiatrist to grown-ass men at that time of the year, at this time of the year. So, honestly, and on top of that, don't the GM hire the coach? So, like, he hired Mike Malone. But, I mean, if we're going to give a basis on when we kind of found Mike Malone a little off-putting, I know this is going to go back, but when they won the championship...
The coach is a decision by committee. So, like, there's a group of people that have to agree on that one.
Usually by the president and then, like, the people around them.
Yeah, the GM is usually the one scouting for the best choices, but yeah, there's a committee that would have to agree on the coach.
Just learned something new today. I did not know that. I thought it was just a GM's job to build a team, so that's awesome.
No, the GM is even crazier though. Because what you were saying after the trade deadline, they're also working the buyout market. They're trying to incentivize other teams to cut players so they can pick them up too. GM is really a thankless job. I would never do that.
Yeah,
no, fact.
But around this time of the year, your job's done. You're set. If you're a playoff team, you're already set.
I don't agree though.
I just told you no.
everything you do matters because now you still have to be prepared for next year. Like you have to make sure that everything that goes smoothly. Now you're looking at every single player as like you're on thin ice. At the end of the day, now everybody's on thin ice. It's like it's a matter of what are you going to do to prove to me that you got to stay next year. You know what I mean? Are you going to be traded next year? Well, it depends on what's going to happen from today to tomorrow, or from today to 3 months from now. You know what I mean? Like they have to continue to play chess the entire season, and sometimes chess pieces are going to fall off the board, and that's your own players.
I will say this though, two things, and then I'm done with the whole Mike Malone thing.
You like that, right?
I think one, I found a distaste for Mike Malone when they won the championship against the Heat, but he was still picking on the Lakers, saying he's the Lakers' daddy and stuff, and kind of egging that out. I thought that was really
I
really
forgot. Fuck the Nuggets too.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was really unprofessional, and on top of that, it was like very like you can tell he was like picking on I beat the Lakers, I beat LeBron, like I'm the coach who got it done. And I thought it was weird. I think it was very distasteful. That was when I found out Mike Malone don't really care. But to kind of even get on this, the last thing I'll say about firing. At the end of the day, like with a coach like that who's like pretty much vibrant, the word is vibrant, right? His problem, and I think the biggest problem, and the one that I saw keep coming up over and over, is that he wouldn't go hard on the stars, but he would go really hard on the supporting cast and like pretty much damn near destroy them. Confidence level, everything. So I do think that Mike Malone was the problem, but like you guys are saying, you can't fire someone like literally days away, weeks away from the playoffs. Like it doesn't make any help. But the reason I think they fired him, and I got my thought back, is because they think that Mike Malone could have got the job done this year. And when someone you can't fire someone who wins a championship. You can't. I mean,
this is the craziest thing you've ever given me, Pluto. You think that they thought?
I think they thought
that they fired Mike Malone because they were gonna win a championship.
Yeah, they didn't want to keep him. So if you don't want to keep someone, you get rid of him before you're forced to keep him. And if he wins the championship, you're forced to keep him.
Wait, let's break this out.
I get what you mean now. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. I didn't realize what you meant. I just thought you said the wrong thing. That's what I thought.
They're a multi-billion-dollar team that get incentivized for winning championships. They get more money. They get brands. Like they make more money. You think You think that those owners that want money would fire a coach that will win a championship and they think he's going to win a championship? You think that's why they fired him?
I don't think that's the whole reason, but I think you got to nip something in the butt before it becomes an actual like, okay, now I got to deal with this one more year. Because sometimes you don't want to deal with.
I don't think there's a single owner that wouldn't kill to win a championship, like actually murder somebody to win a championship. I don't. There's
the Nuggets. They don't want to win a championship.
So much.
They literally proved it in his firing. No, they literally proved it in this firing.
Well, I don't think they thought they could win with Malone.
Championship.
Yeah, I don't think they thought they could win with Malone. But I think this is a move for the future. I think they are in a situation where they do not believe this unit has what it takes right now, and neither do I as a fan. So I'll just say that straight up. I think their bench unit is extremely weak. I can't really name anybody off the bench except Russell Westbrook. And I think as an ownership group, this is what I was saying last week when we were talking about GMs. That's the hardest job of a GM, is to admit when something's not going to work and make your decisions from that. And I think they realized that, I think they realized that it wasn't going to work with either. However, firing them, maybe that's the right choice. I don't know. There must have been a boardroom meeting that they discussed and it made sense to everybody in the room. But firing them now is what doesn't make sense. 4 games before the season ends, it will never make sense.
Get rid of the GM. Let him start interviewing future coaches and stuff. But bro, I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
Yeah, something had to go on that we haven't been told about. But enough of that one. Rest in peace to my dead homie Mike Malone. Hopefully he finds a job.
Man, my dead homie is crazy.
Listen, I'm pouring one out right now for him. Oh, that was open.
Oh God.
That was close.
Back to the topic of Hall of Famers, though. Dwight Howard has been announced that he will be playing his final professional basketball season in the Big Three this year. I don't know how true that is. I have a feeling he's going to change his mind, but we'll see how that goes. Unfortunate. It would have been nice for that to be in the NBA, but I also do not believe Dwight Howard is in NBA shape. I really don't believe that. But he probably does. He probably thinks he is. But either way, that is a report that came out. I don't have much to say about it, but I am going to watch more Big Three games. Of course, being a huge Dwight Howard fan, this gives me a much bigger reason to watch those games. He's going to be playing for Nick Young's team.
Outside rival, actually. 3-on-3 I found is pretty fun. So you should probably check it out. 3-on-3 is pretty fun basketball.
I've
watched it. It's just not exciting to me. But go ahead.
I've actually tuned into the Big Three. He'll be the biggest name in the Big Three. You got Jeff Teague in it. You have his brother. You have a lot of NBA players sprinkled all through there. But I think that's actually awesome, not only for Dwight, but for the Big Three and the exposure he's going to give them. Because at the end of the day, Dwight can still block shots. He can still dunk. And he's still fun to watch. He's always been an entertainer by trade,
And it's half court, so he doesn't have to be in shape.
Exactly. That's another thing. He does not have to be in shape.
Post-ups.
And on top that too. But on top of everything, he's playing against probably a 6'10" dude who's 45. He's gonna make this a big thing for NBA players post NBA to kind of come here and play some 3-on-3 basketball. I think that would be dope for the league, seeing some of our old, favorites out there still getting it in, things like that. I like watching it. I watch it when I can. They're in the summer, so it's actually good to tune in. There's nothing else really going on around that time of the year. So, yeah, for sure. That's dope. I love anything Ice Cube does and touches as well.
Yeah, shout out to Dwight Howard. Hopefully it goes well for him in the Big Three. Shout out to Nick Young, who's now a head coach apparently in the Big Three. Can't imagine how those huddles go.
I'll be right back. Really quick, my cats found a lizard. So I will be right back. They are... I can't describe what they're doing, actually. I don't feel like it's safe.
All right, y'all, we're back. We apologize for that impromptu break. Some chaos erupted in everybody's background at the same time, somehow, some way. But let's get on to the next topic. Oh, yeah, well, let's get on with the next topic. The WNBA draft is in 4 days, apparently. Tyler, you're the resident WNBA expert. Tell us about the draft. Who are you excited to see get drafted? Who do you think is a sleeper as well?
I'm really excited to see where Lauren Betts goes from UCLA. Really big presence inside, kind of shoots the ball, has a little bit of a handle. She's expected to go somewhere in the middle. I think 7'8". Interestingly, though, 3 people pulled out that I was actually very interested in, and we'll talk more about them after the draft. Azzy Fudd is doing another year at UConn.
Really?
Olivia Miles is transferring from Notre Dame and going to TCU. She's not going to be in the draft anymore. And Flaugier is now going to forego the draft as well.
Isn't TCU Haley Van Lith school?
Yep. Yeah. She's going to the draft, though.
Haley Van Lith is going to the draft? Oh, nice. Interesting timing.
Yeah. I did not know she was dating
so she's out of eligibility.
Huh?
I did not know she was dating Jalen Sluggs.
You know what's interesting about Jalen Suggs and Chet Holmgren? They actually grew up with Paige. They all played basketball together growing up, and that's why she's so good.
Who was the other person you said?
That's actually fire.
Oh, Chet Holmgren?
Chet Holmgren.
Yep. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That makes sense. You surround yourself with greatness, you become great.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Sure.
I'm around my cats all day, every day, because they're great.
So our rumors
that was so much shade.
Our rumors still the same? Is Paige Becker still expected to be number 1? Has there been any rise in draft stock for anybody?
If she does not go number 1, that would be malpractice by the Wings, by far. I think that they would lose their team because there's no doubt that she's consensus number 1. She has the same amount of impact, not play style, but impact as Caitlin Clark, to give you an idea.
I could see that.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that. Impact, like on a basketball court, right? You mean?
Yeah.
She's a great shooter. I think she's a better. She might be a better shooter than Caitlin when it comes to set shot. I think Caitlin's just better off the dribble.
It's the wildest take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I think Caitlin's just a better shooter. I think however you want to paint it is just stretching the imagination. Caitlin is obviously the better shooter. But either way. Then we have Elena Del Don, which is actually my former favorite WNBA player, and one of the few reasons why I actually tuned into WNBA games back in the day. She was always one of my favorites. I don't know what it was about her game that I enjoyed so much, but she had a Kobe-esqueness to her. She had this.
She's very fluid.
Like this, like she plays the game very methodical, very IQ based, not so much, I'm going to rely on my athletic ability or my height. I'm really, I am taller than most of you, but I'm going to really play the game smarter than the majority of you. And I didn't watch a lot of WNBA games during her, best years, but when I did, it was typically tuned into her games. I know she played for the Chicago Sky at some point. She moved to another team as well. I don't remember what the other team was, though.
The Mystics.
The Mystics, yeah.
We're short a championship, actually.
That was the year that I didn't watch as much, but I was excited to see her win that championship. But apparently here says that she's officially retiring. I did not know she was not officially retired.
Yeah,
she kind of was, though, because, she hasn't played in 2 seasons. Or 1, because it's only 2025. She didn't play last season at all. Because she's been injured. She's injured a lot. She has some really bad ankles, unfortunately, some knee injuries. I don't know. It's a sad way for it to see her career go out because she was really good, but she did not play as long as she should have.
Yeah, phenomenal player for sure. It is unfortunate that injuries slow her down, but she was definitely one of the best players in the league during her best years. And then we have here Unrivaled. Apparently, Tyler has brought to our attention that Unrivaled offered injury insurance to its players. Tell us more about that.
So they found out in the breakdown of the contracts, because the season's starting and some players were injured, they actually get paid out a certain amount of money for their contract if they were injured as a part of injury insurance. So Breanna Stewart, she doesn't really count because she's making a lot of money, but she got injured during Unrivaled. She would have gotten paid out part of her Unrivaled contract again during the season, which is crazy.
Nice.
I've never seen a team offer injury insurance ever.
That's actually fire.
On the rise, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm agreeing. That's fire.
Bro,
That's fire. I love that. Yeah.
I
think it should be like that more often when you're playing in 2 different leagues. Well, they play in 2 different leagues, so when you're playing in 2 different professional leagues, they gotta it's gotta work out for the women NBA in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So I could see that.
Unrivaled's goal is not to be a secondary league. That is not their goal.
Oh, I know. I could tell by the way they're
It's
moving.
not their goal.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, I mean, until something changes drastically from a financial perspective, they will be. I mean, these women, they need to get paid. You know, they play overseas during the off season. They're now getting into Unrivaled. They were doing Athletes Unlimited, which recently was going on as well. We didn't talk about that much in the podcast, but we definitely need to next time it comes around. But yeah, until the financial side of things looks better from a women's basketball perspective, all these leagues are just going to be secondary leagues.
Next year's a new CBA. They're going to be making a lot of money next year.
They should.
Yeah,
they deserve it.
Hopefully, man. But we're getting there, man. Shout out to Caden Clark, man, for the movement. Shout out to Angel Reese for the movement. Paige Beckers is going to bring more of that in. Azzy Fudd, I think, can definitely bring some spark to it as well. Then we're going to have Juju
Adrian
at
Cameron
some point.
signed up for Unrivaled as well.
Who?
That's fine.
Crazy.
Playoff basketball, gentlemen. Let's talk the playoff picture. Look like we currently have all teams a postseason. Some teams still have the ability to make the top six. Do not. My Lakers, top 6 spot, and 1 win away from number 3 seed. I'm very excited for that. But let's talk the play-in. Right now, the play-in should be. The play-in is settled. Is it?
I don't think
It
so.
is.
It is in the East.
It's settled for. It is. The East has been settled. The East is Bulls and Heat.
Oh, okay.
So, but right now, either way, they
Or-
have Orlando Magic 7th seed versus the Hawks in the 8th seed, and Chicago 9th seed versus Miami the 10th seed. Who do you guys think about Orlando? And my money's
I got the Magic, and then I got the Heat, and then from that, or I'm sorry, yeah, I got the Magic and then I got the Heat winning theirs, and then after that I have the Hawks beating the Heat, so it'll be the Magic and it'll be the Hawks going into the playoffs.
I agree with you, Tyler.
I
don't.
actually have Miami and Atlanta.
I could see that too, though, but I'm, the Heat have gone through a lot this year, and I don't expect them to continue doing well because they have not been playing that great
At all.
Yeah, I mean, it also has for the whole year, so that's why I don't have. Yeah, I can see it happening both ways. I don't know the cast
Me too.
that beat Miami, so just understand the game. Have that budding star they used to, but he got something special, so he picks it up in the playoffs. But I have the same Orlando in the 7th seed, Miami the 8th seed. That leaves us with Cleveland versus Miami for me. Atlanta, let's just go for a consensus. Cleveland versus Atlanta, I got Cleveland coming for that. I'm assuming you got it as well.
Yep.
Listen, hot take here. DeAndre Ayton was sent to the Cleveland as part of a sleeper cell program to, eat them from within.
Whoa.
But the thing is, when it comes to the Cavs have a lot of eaters, so they know how to take care of that. They know how to get past that. So I got the Cavs.
Oh my God! All right. Next, we got Boston versus Orlando. The favorite here is Boston. Any disagreements?
Would you say
Boston who?
Boston is a favorite against the Heat? Would you ever say that?
W versus Orlando.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's actually a really
I
good
misheard you.
matchup. I know the Celtics are going to
no,
win,
I
but
don't
I don't
think
think it's going to.
I have the
No,
Celtics
I know
in
the
5.
Celtics are going to win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as you guys think it's going to be, like, at all.
I'm gonna place a bet right now. I have the Celtics in 4. I have it as a sweep.
Oh no,
It's in
no.
5
I think they're going
with the
6.
potential.
Yeah, I'm going 6. Magic and 6. Celtics and 6.
I'll say 5. 5.
We want to place a bet. We want to do a forfeit. Anybody? I'll take anybody up on it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I got 5. Whoever gets it right.
All right,
What
we'll think
happens?
of a forfeit, and then we'll come back next episode. We'll talk about it. I got it in 4.
All right, and
I
we
got
got
it in 6.
Anything
versus the
more
Pistons.
than 5 nullifies. By the way,
Huh?
No, I got him in 6 though.
you didn't take the bet. Only Nazim.
Oh, okay.
All of us.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's all right. He wants to leave me out. It's okay. I don't need
That was
it.
all of us. Yeah. Whoever gets it right. The right wins.
All right, 4, 5, and 6. I'm down. We'll think of
And
forfeits.
it's the cancellation. If it goes to 7, the Knicks versus not Milwaukee. I got the Knicks. Any objections?
I
Knicks
have the
versus
Knicks,
who?
but I
I'm
think
sorry.
that will be a good matchup.
Detroit's ready for basketball. I think they get. I don't think they make.
Yeah, I think they're getting
Yeah,
smashed.
I
by
think
the
it goes to
Knicks.
5.
Same,
Yeah.
same. But
The
if that,
sweep is the same.
yeah.
Indiana versus Milwaukee, I think will be the series round for the East series that can actually go. Uh, it's pretty tough decision here, but I've always been a believer. I can't seem to give it. I have Milwaukee for that. I really,
I think it's crazy.
I like-
The best player on the best team in this case against each other. I think that's crazy.
Believe it or not, I
Better
got,
team,
I got
though.
the Pacers. I got the Pacers.
I got the Pacers too.
Uh,
Yeah, I got the Pacers.
No Dame. That's not a good look for the Milwaukee.
Dame's gonna be back.
You're losing.
Dame's gonna be back.
Oh, he is. Oh,
Yeah.
if Dame's back. I got Milwaukee.
Yeah.
100%.
But it's his first game back too, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, but he
I got
wasn't out
Milwaukee.
super extended.
Yeah, he's not. He was not.
But either way, yeah, I got Milwaukee. I got winning as well. Objections. I do think that at least 6 back and forth. Then we have on the West, State versus right now. The West thinks so we may see, but as it is right week, I believe the play already passed. So we discuss post-play pieces, but as of it looks like it might be going versus Minnesota. Sacramento, Dallas. I have no. Well, I have Golden State beating Minnesota. Yes, I have Golden State beating Minnesota. I have. Oh man, this is actually. I have. God, I have Dallas. Oh God, Dallas beating Sacramento, and I have Minnesota.
I thought you were gonna
Dallas
say.
beating Sacramento.
I thought you were gonna say. I really thought you were gonna say Dallas beating Timberwolves at first.
No, I got
I was
Dallas.
like, what?
I got Dallas, Sacramento, and then the game that they need to get, they lose. Minnesota takes the 8.
Okay.
All right, what do you got, Pluto?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. Nas is cutting in and out. I'm pretty sure you said Dallas beating Sacramento. I don't see that at all. I think Sacramento beats Dallas. I couldn't hear the other teams because it was cutting off, but
Golden
I
State.
think the other.
It was Golden State versus Timberwolves. I'll say it now.
Oh, I'll take Golden State, and then when it's Timberwolves and Dallas, I'm gonna go Timberwolves.
I got it flipped. I think the Timberwolves win their matchup against Golden State. And then on the flip side, I think it's Dallas winning over the Kings. And then I think Golden State takes it over them as well.
So we all have Golden State and Timberwolves in, though, right?
Just at different places. Yep.
Point decision.
All right.
The decision would be the Golden State at 7 and Minnesota at 8 because me and would have them there. It could change because it's still flip by the time it's over, so we don't. Matchups will end up any.
I mean, the Grizzlies could be 7 or 8.
Exactly. And based on the for right now, we're gonna have OKC, Minnesota. I have a that.
I kind of think this is going to be a really good playoff matchup You got two budding superstars in their own rights going mano a mano. Teams are not injured right now. I got OKC in 7. I'm gonna be real with you.
I got OKC in 6.
I got OKC in well. We got
I don't think it goes to 7. I think it's close.
I don't think they're beating Timberwolves at Game 6.
I think
I don't.
OKC and all the ability in the world to finish it. I do believe they can do that.
Yeah.
And then Houston, Golden State. This is a very interesting situation here. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys know how I play basketball, and I value experience over in the playoffs, and I'm taking Golden State to upset Houston. I am taking Golden State to upset Houston.
I'm with you on that too. My reasoning is when young teams are this good, this fast, they need those bumps and bruises, and no better team better than to do that than a championship-proven team. Time after time, you take these licks, you go home, and you learn from it. I like Golden State.
In 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Golden State too. I will say though, this is all contingent on Jalen Green. If Jalen Green continues how he has been over the last 10 games, I think the Rockets take it. But I'm going with the Warriors.
I don't even believe a good of Jalen Green is enough. I don't believe it. I don't think the rest of that cast is prepared to play consistently good basketball in the playoffs as a.
But one thing we've never seen, though, we've never seen Steph be guarded like someone like Amin Thompson. I do think that he is actually a great matchup against him. And I think that's going to be kind of the secret.
And we've never seen Jalen Green have to be defended by Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler for 7 games.
Yeah.
We've never seen Jalen Green do anything offensively ever, realistically. Like, consistently.
Hey.
I just don't think they have the experience needed to defeat a team like Golden State. I think Jimmy Butler, he may not be the same playoff Jimmy he's been in the past, but he will bring that level of impact regardless of what phase of his career he's in. Stephen Curry is I think still going to do his thing, but I am very interested to see how Amin Thompson will perform defensively against Curry.
Steph Curry has not had a single game where he shot close to his averages against the Rockets this season. He's played bad against the Rockets all year.
I'm not going to lie.
Playoff basketball. The world changes when it's time for playoffs.
That's
Basketball's
true.
not the same
these
anymore.
These two teams are building. They have a history. Houston and Golden State. They have a history with going back to James Harden.
2 great coaches each.
Yeah. And then at the end of their most recent game, you saw Ime and Steph get into it, which is very rare to see. You don't usually see a coach get into it with a player like that.
You definitely see Ime get into it with the player often.
No. A coach, not
every game.
Ime's different. Ime doesn't care. That's why I like Ime. Ime is a psychopath, a real psychopath, and I'm here for it. But I think what Nas saying this is the same way I viewed OKC these last 2 years. I think this is the learning curve time. I'm not judging Houston off this. If they lose, I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're inexperienced. I think they need this. So I think the ass whooping brought to you by the Golden State Warriors. And I didn't give you guys a number. I like Golden State in 6. I'm going Rockets in 7. I'm changing my answer. You're betting against Steph Curry, Tyler. Remember that. You're betting against Steph Curry.
Yeah. I am. I am absolutely.
I got Golden State in 6 or 7. Most likely 7. I think Houston is good enough to give a team like Golden State, who hasn't been the most consistent, a run for their money. But I think when it's time to clutch up, when it's time to get the job done, Golden State has too many tools and too many players that understand how to get the job done. That's my thing. But I got Golden State in 7 or 6. But 7 is my preference. Then we got Lakers versus Memphis. I got Lakers. I genuinely believe that.
BTA. I got Lakers in 4. What did that boy say? UCF?
Oh, I don't think it's a sweep.
No, I got Lakers in 6.
I got Lakers in 5.
UCF, KFC.
I got Lakers in 6. I
UFL.
mean, I think they gave us a
Lakers in
good
5.
battle last time we played in the playoffs. I don't believe this Memphis team has improved much since the last time they played us in the
I think
playoffs.
they're worse than that time.
Yeah, they're arguably worse. And now they got to worry about Luka Doncic. They couldn't stop Anthony Davis, and at that point, and they couldn't stop Anthony Davis, and the person guarding him was a Defensive Player of the Year. Now they got to deal with Luka, and the person guarding him is nowhere near a defensive player. You know what I mean? So like, that's how I see it. So.
Yeah.
I got Lakers in 6 because I do believe Memphis is going to give us some tough games. And
I know. I don't know.
But I believe in the consistency of Rui in the playoffs. That man knows how to show up for games. I love that guy when it comes to showing up. I may hate him for other reasons, but he shows up when he needs to. When it's time to knock down a shot, that boy can do it. Austin Reeves, epitome of consistency. And then we have LeBron James and Luka Doncic. I don't have to say anything else. You know what I mean?
One thing I will say, though, Austin Reeves did not play good against Memphis last year. Or
So
last time they
they-
played.
But he does the things that he needs to do. Like he doesn't all like that's my favorite part about Austin Reeves. You can point out statistically how the games don't look great, but when you watch him, he's always gonna do what's needed to be done to win the game. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are the
He's a good
intangibles
shot
that-
taker too. He's a really good shot taker. Like I when I get to watch him, he doesn't take a shot that's a really bad shot. He takes pretty good high percentage shots. But I got the Lakers sweeping them. I think you guys are being nice. I don't think this team is on the same or a par with the Laker team that they are now. Yeah,
I don't think the
got
Lakers are that good, is why I say that. I think they're good. They're just not that good yet. And I think next year they'll be better.
they're gonna
Yeah, I
be great
agree.
next year. But yeah,
That's why
I
I give
think the
Memphis.
Lakers sweep.
I give Memphis 2. I know we're not talking about second round, but I believe. How does it work usually? If we're looking at second round matchup, who would they play? The winner
It
of
would
So
play-
it's 3-2 would play each other, and then 1-4 would play each other.
Exactly.
okay,
yeah.
so then it
Whoever's on
would
that
be.
side.
So then by my standards, it would be Lakers versus Warriors, right?
And
And
I think
that's-
the Lakers got that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the Lakers
got
can
that?
make it to the Western Conference Finals this year. I know we're
Yeah,
kind of
if
reading into
the-
this.
Yeah, if the conference finishes the way that it is right now, I believe the Lakers have a uncontested run to the Western Conference. I
And
don't
I'm not
believe the
gonna
Warriors are
lie.
better than us.
And I'm not gonna lie, if they play OKC, I think they can beat OKC.
I don't think so.
OKC's the
Seven-game
hardest
series.
matchup they'd have.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think
the
so.
hardest.
They can't guard Luka.
They have the defenders
guard Luka.
and the scorers.
They had the
Yes.
same defenders
They
last year.
did.
They cannot guard Luka.
Luka did not play that well against them in the playoffs. The
did
whole
when it
issue is they
mattered,
kept
though.
leaving the. Yeah, but like.
But at the end of the
they
day,
would've lost.
At the end of the day, it is a team effort. I think OKC is a much better team now than they were last year, and they can accomplish things differently. And I don't think this is the year for the Lakers to win a championship. I believe this is the year for us to show that whatever occurred to make this trade happen, it happened, and we're going to show you that it was the right move. And we'll talk about it whenever we get to next year's season. But I 100% am going to be on the bandwagon of Lakers winning a championship in 2025.
I'm with you on that, Nas.
I'm 100% going to be on that boat.
I agree.
100%.
I'm on
And
that.
I'm
As a
all
little-
year. I'm gonna be talking my shit all year. I 100% the Lakers are going to do phenomenal things in the offseason.
Yeah.
And surround Luka and LeBron with one hell of a supporting cast. I promise you they will.
And I'm not gonna lie, Rob Pelinka has won me over. I think he knows what he's doing, and I think he's gonna do a good job this offseason. So yeah, for sure.
I think he's
Yeah.
lucky, but I do
Listen,
believe
one
he
good
knows what
trade
he's
is not
doing.
going to win me over.
I think he's a little lucky sometimes, but I do think he knows what he's doing. But either way, I'm sorry, I'm a Lakers fan, so I forced us into a Lakers rabbit hole. I apologize. But then we have Denver versus the other LA team, the Clippers. I have Denver
BTA.
coming out of that. But I do actually believe the Clippers could actually win that series.
Because
I
of
got
the change that
Nuggets
they
in.
made.
Yeah, I got
What do you
Nuggets
mean?
in 7.
Oh,
With
because
the
of
Nuggets
Denver? Yeah.
Firing their coach.
Yeah, I think the Clippers can come out of that series. It is looking increasingly more likely that we may just get a healthy Kawhi or a healthier Kawhi than we're used to in the playoffs. But we'll see. Cross our fingers. He might just get injured again in the playoffs. But
There's no such thing as a healthy Kawhi anymore. It's long gone.
That's why I changed it to healthier than what we're accustomed to. And fuck it. Fuck it. I'm doing it. I got the Clippers. F it. I got the Clippers. I think the Clippers can do it. I think they can beat the Nuggets. I really do. I convinced myself.
Really?
You said what?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Jokic is the better player by far. Like, I don't think it's even close to the next best player on the court. I think also Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray might obviously be the second best player on the court.
No,
I don't even think he's a fourth.
Why?
I don't. I think he's the fourth. Yes, I think he's the fourth.
Yeah, James
he's
Harden's
not better than James Harden.
Murray right now.
He's not better than James Harden. He's not better than Kawhi Leonard.
You have to like you don't believe it.
He's not even better than this version of Kawhi. This version of Kawhi is still a better player than Jamal Murray is.
I can see
Jamal Murray's been hot ass in the playoffs, bro. He's been ass against anyone other than the Lakers.
Oh, maybe.
And that's not even true. He just hit game winners. He did not have a good series. But the world is gonna think that he had a great series because he beat us at the buzzer twice. But no, he had a bad series. That man could not make a shot.
I keep saying that. I keep thinking Jamal Murray's had good playoff runs because of that fucking Donovan Mitchell matchup. I got to stop thinking about that.
That was 4 years ago. 5, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the last time he had good was 2023.
He went through a bad injury right after that, so he's in that point of his career. But either way, I have the Clippers.
Yeah, I got Clippers in 7.
Listen, I'm gonna say it right now. You could convince me Jamal Murray is the 5th best player of that series. You could convince me.
I think he is. I don't think he's better than Norm Powell right now. I do not right now. I don't think so.
You can convince me of that. You have convinced me, Tyler. That's what I mean. You have convinced me.
I'm not gonna lie though. When it comes to all said and done though, how do I say this? I've seen him clutch up, more than just the Lakers on other teams as well. So it kind of all depends.
There is no better.
He's definitely the wild card, though. He's the wild card of this series.
The only better playoff performer in that series than Kawhi is Jokic. It is not Murray. Jokic is the only better playoff performer. When it is time for playoff basketball, Kawhi Leonard knows how to play the game better than anybody else on the court.
No, I'm not going to argue
James
that
Harden
Kawhi's the second
is
best
going to
player.
cook Jamal Murray. James Harden is going to eat him alive, bro.
Oh, and the last thing I'll say before you get a chance, I'm sorry, Orlando, but let's not forget one of the biggest defenses and defensive schemes that has worked against Jokic in the past. We've seen it with Minnesota. We've seen it with the Lakers in 2020, is those big backcourts. And let me tell you, it doesn't get much bigger than Ivica Zubac. That boy is a big boy. He's going to be a body. He's going to be a body, and he's having the career season. So I'm just saying Jokic is going to tear up because he's Jokic, the greatest player in basketball right now. But this is going to be a tough series for them. I got the Clippers.
I like the Clippers now that I talked to you guys, and I kind of just you break it down. But at the same time, I think the biggest X factor for this playoff run for the Nuggets is having a really good Jamal Murray, because that's what's helped them win a championship before. So yeah. Hopefully, my X factor is Jamal Murray. He can turn this around, but I think I could say Clippers in 7. I could say this is going to go 7 games. I don't see this going any shorter than 7.
Yeah, I can see it going to 7. I can see Clippers.
I was
in 7
at 6.
I can see Denver in 7 as well. I don't. Between 6 and 7, it's possible. I don't think there's a gigantic. It's just that game 6, you just never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So between 6 and 7, I think there's not like a gigantic difference, because it's like all it takes is just one bad game by the wrong person, and boom, you're in a game 7. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. But
we've seen it all the time. We see it all the time.
all the time. So yeah, game 6 or game 7, I think it's not too much of a gigantic difference there. But I would take the Clippers in 7 if I had to bet. The moment Kawhi goes down in injury, I got the Nuggets. The moment
I got the Nuggets because I don't trust in Kawhi anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. Once because of the injury thing, then the Nuggets are of course the favorite. But I've never watched Kawhi fail somebody. and I love it. I love it for him because when he's on the court, he's gonna do what needs to be done to win a basketball game every single time. Now it's up to everybody else to figure it out because Kawhi knows. Kawhi been figured it out.
Keep in mind, one thing I forgot: the new addition that the Clippers got actually does help them defensively against Jokic in Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
that actually will help a lot.
Yeah, it will. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thought process for them. I wouldn't be surprised. But last thing, finish off. Right here, right now, who's your choice for a championship? This is the final decision you get to make here. No matter what the matchups are, let's just assume everybody's going to play good basketball. Let's just assume everybody's going to be out there and healthy. Who's your champion this year? Can't back out.
OKC versus the Celtics, and I got OKC.
Back-to-back NBA championship Celtics. I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics. It's just that team just has been the best team for the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, I got the Celtics.
I will start this off by saying fuck the Celtics, but I have the Celtics versus OKC in the finals, and I have the Celtics taking it home as well. I also believe that this will not be the same year as last year, and I think Jason Tatum is Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP as well.
Yeah, I think he is too. I don't think he's gonna shoot his way to that shit. He's gonna shoot and rebound.
I don't think
to that
either of those because they're not winning. I think OKC takes it.
Well,
and I think that we're proven wrong because OKC does have some playoff experience.
What about Eastern Conference?
And they added some more guys. Say it again?
You don't think he'll get Eastern Conference MVP?
Oh,
I didn't hear that. Yeah, sure, I guess. I don't care about that.
Damn.
Yeah, Tyler. But like, how does OKC beat the Celtics though? In what? Like, I can't.
No, they can. I do think they can. That's just not my
really think
favorite.
of that team. They're both as lengthy as they possibly can. They both have a unicorn center. Like, they are made very similar.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Who do you think's a better defensive team though?
I
got
think
the
OKC.
OKC.
Wow.
But
OKC
the Celtics
has
are
the craziest defensive scheme I've ever seen, where they're able to guard centers with 4 guards and a forward on the court. They like this strip and snatch. I don't know what it's called, but like it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, they are so good at swarming people and then recovering immediately to where like they have to make a decision. It's a very hard defense to play against, and they have a lot of post-up players.
Yeah, rip and go.
I think it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, but the style of offense that the Celtics play is kind of like is not really a post-centric. They're not throwing in the post. It's all through like perimeter play. So like that 3-point shooting that the Celtics do at an elite level, it could work if you're always hitting an open man and if you're doubling and things like that, because they do double a lot, like and press. So like if the Celtics can find an open man, it could be a field day for the Celtics. But that's just my view on it.
The way I see it, they're evenly matched. That's the way I see it. They are evenly matched.
That's what I think.
They bring everything that they need to bring to the table. Where one team is better than the other team has something that they're better than the one team. You know what I mean? That's basically how it goes. I'm taking the Celtics because of their finals experience. I believe this is not the year for OKC to win a championship, but I believe a championship is in their future, not too long from now at all. But I wouldn't be shocked if OKC wins it. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's possible. I don't think it's impossible.
Gotcha. Same page.
Now, what I would be shocked is if they win it earlier than expected. If they win in 4 or 5, then that would be a shock. But if they take it in 6, take it in 7, that's a level of competition that I would expect.
If they swept the Celtics, I don't think people would ever view Jason Tatum as a superstar ever. If they swept the Celtics,
They
barely
his
do
Mount
now.
Rushmore ticket. His Mount Rushmore ticket, like whatever lane he's in, that LeBron lane, those like early, like decorated player lane where you can become a figurehead. If he gets swept in the finals, it's over. It's all the way over for him. And there might be an argument that his other superstar might be better than him and can actually get the job done. So, It's crazy.
Well, that will never be a thing. But either way, that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. I got the Celtics. Orlando got the Celtics. And Tyler has the OKC Thunder winning a championship this year. Let us know in the comment section who you think is going to take it home. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm disappointed if you haven't. But let's meet next week. Actually, not next week. We are going live for episode 20. We're going to skip a week. We're going to see you guys April 24th? April 24th. Hopefully at Studio D3 in Orlando. We'll see how that works out. But we're going to be taking 1 week off. We'll see you guys in about 2 weeks. We'll have some content for y'all throughout the week. We'll put together some stuff. Make sure y'all don't forget our faces. Hit that subscribe button, man. Go watch some of our old episodes. Help us grow whatever you got. We'll see you guys April 24th for episode 20, all right?
Check out our gaming channel as well, because while we're not posting any basketball content, we're also playing games. Marvel Rivals, 2K, Fortnite. GTA, the whole thing. Shebang.
Yes, Hoop Talk out. Deuces.
Comment D3 if you made it this far.